And maybe you would have said, wow, does the Mueller investigation really need to be trying to put Carter Page and General Flynn? I mean, what's going on here? But nobody did that, and that bothers me.
Yep. I appreciate your question, Senator. First of all,
welcome back to Hot News Today. Today, I'm breaking down one of the most intense Senate Judiciary Committee moments in recent memory, when Senator John Kennedy took Rod Rosenstein to task over bias inside the FBI during the Russia probe. If you're into political drama, you're in the right place.
General, as I think you know, we're here to talk about bias and alleged acts on that bias. And it seems to me that it's one thing to talk about bias as a concept or an intellectual proposition, but it's quite another thing to see it in living color. I want to just read you a couple of emails that I think demonstrate the bias in living color and the promise to act on that bias. August 16, 2015, Peter Strzok. Bernie Sanders is an idiot like Trump. Figure they cancel each other out. February 12, 2016, Lisa Page. Trump has no dignity or class. He simply cannot be president. March 3rd, 2016, Lisa Page. God, Trump is a loathsome human. March 3rd, 2016, Peter Strzok. Oh my God, Trump's an idiot. March 3rd, 2016, Peter Strzok. God, Hillary should win 100 million to nothing. March 3rd, 2016, Lisa Page. Did you hear Trump made a comment about the size of his penis? Only she didn't use the word penis earlier. This man cannot be president.
So let's set the scene. Kennedy starts by reading out those infamous emails between Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, two top FBI officials right in the middle of the Trump investigation. Their emails weren't just unprofessional, they were packed with insults about Trump, stuff like an idiot, a loathsome human, and the bombshell, we will stop him. Kennedy's point? This wasn't just idle chatter. This was bias, plain and simple, from people calling the shots in a presidential investigation.
July 18, 2016, Lisa Page. Donald Trump is an enormous douche. August 2016, Lisa Page. Trump's not ever going to become president, right? Right? August 2016, Peter Strzok. No, he won't. We will stop it. Were not junior G-men or G-women. They were senior officials at the FBI. And as I understand it, please correct me, General, if I'm wrong, they were navel deep in Misfire Hurricane and the Mueller investigation. Navel deep. They were decision makers. And you made these emails public, which I appreciate. But what we're talking about here is not a routine run-of-the-mill FBI case. This was an investigation of the President of the United States of America. And this was the investigation of a presidential campaign.
Then Kennedy drops the big question. Why didn't anyone hit pause? He argues that when those explosive messages surfaced, someone at the DOJ or FBI should have stopped and reassessed the investigation's integrity. Instead, he says, the Bureau kept moving forward, using questionable info like the Steele Dossier and targeting folks like Carter Page and Michael Flynn.
Here's what I've never understood. When these emails became public and you knew about them, when you learned about them, you did the right thing, you made them public. Presume you made them available to Mr. Mueller. Mr. Strzok and Ms. Page were removed from the Mueller investigation. Nobody gets fired around here. It's easier to divorce your spouse than to fire somebody. But why didn't you or somebody else, some other senior official at the Department of Justice or the director of the FBI or somebody else senior at the FBI say, wait a minute, stop a second. I need that we're investigating a president and a presidential campaign. I'm going to ask some hard questions here. Maybe I shouldn't have been trusting people that are telling me this stuff. If you or some of your colleagues in the Trump administration had done that, you would have seen that the FBI had already said General Flynn didn't do anything wrong, and that the FBI agents who tried to entrap him at the White House had said, well, he's not lying. And y'all, I'm not just putting it on you, but y'all would have found that the Steele Dossier was unadulterated BS.
Sure, Strzok and Page were kicked off the Mueller team, but Kennedy says the real problem was never fixed. Rosenstein fires back. He points to the Inspector General's report saying, yeah, FBI folks had opinions, but the rules were followed.
And you would have found that some people at the FBI had been lying to you, lying about on the warrant application. And maybe you would have said, wow, does the Mueller investigation really need to be trying to put Carter Page and General Flynn? I mean, what's going on here? But nobody did that, and that bothers me.
Yep. I appreciate your question, Senator. First of all, and I have the report open to the appropriate page. You are correct with regard to Inspector Horowitz's conclusions. He did point out that employees are entitled to political views. And I think it's important to recognize, I'm sure we have people with strong views on the other side too. The question is, are you following the rules? And are you articulating those views in a way that will cast doubt upon the integrity of the process? And when that information came to our attention, Senator, I think we did the right thing. Inspector Horowitz brought it to my attention and the attention of Director Mueller. Director Mueller took appropriate action. The FBI director transferred Mr. Strzok. The investigation wasn't concluded yet, so he wasn't able to impose any discipline. I believe the woman involved left the department voluntarily. With regard to the status of the investigation, Senator, obviously, fortunately, we're at the conclusion and we're able to say that no Americans conspired with the Russians. My impression at the time was that there was proper predication for that investigation. And Inspector General Horowitz agreed with that. There may be more information that comes to light, and Mr. Dora may find that, and then I think we ought to take that into consideration as well. But with regard to all those cases, Senator, all I can tell you is, and I think one more important point I'd like to make, which is why didn't we just throw the whole thing out? It's because there are a lot more people involved in this. It's not just Mr. Strzok and Ms. Page. There are dozens, perhaps scores of federal agents and attorneys involved, and I hope and believe.
Once those emails came out, Mueller and Rosenstein acted, removing the agents. The investigation chugged on, and Rosenstein insists it was always legally justified. Kennedy wasn't buying it. He wanted accountability, and he didn't see it. No one got fired, no one really took the fall, and the investigation that rocked American politics rolled on without extra scrutiny. Here's why it matters. This wasn't just about a few emails. It's about whether Americans can trust the people in charge of justice, even when bias is exposed. Kennedy says we need real accountability. Rosenstein says trust the system. What do you think? Was Kennedy right to press harder, or was Rosenstein right to defend the process? Drop your take in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more raw moments from Capitol Hill, right here on Hot News Today.